Welcome to my first reading vlog of Bookmas. My name is Jessie if you have not been to my channel yet or if you haven't seen any of my videos. In today's video, I'm going to be reading 2 holiday/Christmas themed books. I'll give you all my thoughts along the way and you'll just follow me on my journey as I go through these novels. I did start one last night. I made it a goal to get at least 60 pages into this book and I did. I got to page 65 and this one is Snowed In by Catherine Walsh. If you guys watched my book shopping video, I think that was a couple days ago, the books that I'm reading in this video are the books that I bought at Barnes. So if you've seen that, you know what I'm going to be reading. If not, I'll explain what this book is about, and then when I get to the second book, I'll explain that one later. Snowed In follows our 2 main characters, Megan and Christian. It's told from a dual point of view, so we're getting both of them. This book starts off with Megan leaving her fiance at the altar. They're supposed to be getting married. She's at this church and she's pretty much hiding from her family and she runs away, which is not something that I would normally like to happen in a book or just with anyone in general, because I don't understand why she couldn't just, talk to her fiance and say, hey, I don't think this is gonna work. She literally didn't tell anyone and just completely skedaddled out of there. We kind of got off to a bad start, but I said, you know what, I'm just gonna go into this book, I'm gonna accept what this character is doing and we're gonna just have a fun time. And after I changed my mindset on that, I am having a fun time. After that scene, we go 5 years later and we end up at this bar and Megan is not doing well. She just got her blood drawn, so she's kind of fainting. She feels like she's gonna throw up. She just wants to go home. And Christian ends up showing up. They went to school together, so they've known each other pretty much their whole lives. Christian was actually outside when Megan was running away from her wedding, so he's the only one that knew that she was about to leave, and he kept it a secret the whole time. So present day, Christian and Megan are both at this bar. They bump into each other. Megan wants to go home, so she starts walking home and Christian's like, I don't think you should be walking home by yourself. Let me walk you home. And then I said, you know what? I love romance books because a guy says, I'm gonna walk you home, or he does anything like that, I'm there. So Christian, love him already. But these 2 characters each have family issues, and obviously this is set around the Christmas time, so they're gonna have to go back to their families and have Christmas dinner. It's gonna be rough for them because they just don't want to be bombarded with all the questions that a family asks during Christmas time. They want to stay away from that, and what better thing to do than to fake date and bring each other to the other person's Christmas dinner. The one thing that I liked about this is that the fake dating I've never seen done before, because Megan is not for it at all. She thinks it's a stupid idea, and usually when you get fake dating, both of the characters are right into it. They don't even think about it. But Megan is really trying to get out of this, and Christian's doing everything he can to convince her to fake date him and get through the holiday season with their families. So I thought that was a really nice add-on to a trope that you get a lot. But that's pretty much it. That's where we left off. So far, having a good time, excited to read more. I'll read a little bit more of this tonight and then I will come back with an update whenever I have one and we'll see what they get up to. You guys, guess what I got? A mic. Look how cute it is. It's so tiny. I decided to put on my Christmas themed pajamas. I got some red and white snowflake socks on. I still don't have a top that is Christmas themed, but I figured we could get into the holiday spirit a little bit since I'm reading Christmas books. And I should have worn these pants when I decorated my room, but I forgot I had them. So anyway, we're gonna talk about Snowed In. I read more last night. Let me grab it. Okay, I feel like I can bring you guys closer now. I just want it to be dramatic about this. Okay, come on. Come over here. I read just over 100 pages yesterday. I'm on page 167. We're a little over halfway through now. I plan on finishing this today because I have a time limit for these videos and I have to read a whole nother book. So we're going to be pumping out the pages today. Initial thing I have to say is that I hate Christian's sister so much. I think the rudest thing that anybody can do is not acknowledge someone when they're around. And his sister did just that. Her name is Hannah. Megan shows up, meeting the family, and she doesn't even look at her or talk to her, and I just don't understand why. Like if something they don't even know each other, but Hannah just instantly hates her because of what happened in the past, even though she doesn't know Megan's side of the story. So not a fan of her. But to top it all off, their family went swimming in a lake, which is crazy because it's Christmas time and it's cold outside, but they went for it. They showed up at this lake. They were going swimming, and before that Hannah was making sandwiches for all of them, and Megan is a vegetarian, so she was just making ham and cheese for everybody. But Christian said Megan was a vegetarian and his mom suggested she just make cheese and tomato, and they were like, okay, yeah, that was agreed upon. Well, they get to the lake, they pull out the sandwiches, and guess what? There's not a cheese and tomato sandwich. There's only ham and cheese. Megan, being her nice self, is like, I'll just peel the ham off. It's no big deal. But I don't even think there was like an extra sandwich for her. And Hannah was the one in charge. I just think that's terrible, and I felt really bad for Megan. That's pretty much what I got from the past 100 pages that I read, but other than that, I am really liking this romance. They don't even have feelings for each other yet, I don't think. I'm assuming there's something there, but they just really enjoy spending time with each other, and they work together really well, but we're not getting any description on how they feel about each other yet, and I really enjoy that because I love me a slow burn. I love when I'm reading a romance book and there's not romance in it until the end. But yeah, I'm having a fun time. I think it is very Christmassy now. I'm getting the Christmas feelings with meeting up with old friends and, well, old friends. It's definitely giving having to be around people that you don't necessarily want to be around because of the holidays. So I'm feeling it. I'm curious to see how Christmassy it's going to get when we get into the actual Christmas portion, because right now it's mid-December in this book. I think that's all I have to say, but I felt like there was one more thing I wanted to say, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, okay, no, I just remembered. There was one moment in this book, which sometimes you read a book and you just notice little tiny things. It doesn't really matter, but it's just something that you catch and you question it. Christian showed up at Megan's house an hour earlier than he was supposed to, and Megan came downstairs. She had just woken up. She was in a robe. So obviously we're guessing that she doesn't have makeup on, right? And then I think it was pretty much confirmed she didn't have makeup on, because then she went upstairs to get ready and it said she was putting foundation and mascara on, and then it was describing the outfit she was putting on. During that time, Christian was sitting right next to her when she walked down after she woke up. But then when they went swimming and she came out of the lake, Christian noticed her freckles under her makeup, and he said that he's never seen her without makeup before, and I instantly thought of her 10 pages ago coming downstairs after she just woke up. So I don't know if that was just a little mishap in the book, but I did notice it, and I think those things are fun in books when you notice it, because it's like, okay, how did nobody else notice this? I'm gonna continue this today. I plan on finishing this. I'm reading it very fast. I got through 100 pages very quickly yesterday, so I think I'm gonna get through this in the next couple of hours, and then we're gonna jump right into the next book because I gotta get my reading rolling. Let's get to it. Before I go, I have to say this. I have the song Sister Christian by Night Ranger stuck in my head because of me thinking about Christian's sister, and it's been stuck in my head all day yesterday since we met his sister in the book, and I keep singing the opening line to that song today, all today. I feel like I need to just listen to that song and get it out of my system and be done with it. Oh, I forgot Christian got hit in the face with a pool thingy, a pool stick. What do you call it? When you're playing pool, billiards, but he got hit in the face with one of those. Also, why are everybody's parents terrifying? Like, why are parents scary? I need to know what happened between Isaac and Megan. She's back home, so obviously Isaac is going to be there. But I just need to know what happened because I feel bad for him, obviously, because she just ran away and never said anything. They didn't even have a real breakup. But then I also feel like it's going to be something really terrible, so then I shouldn't feel bad for him. I hate being in this situation right now because I don't know whose side to lean on. I mean, I feel bad for both of them, obviously, because something did happen. But when are we going to find out? I need to know now. I don't want to wait. I'm here to say the feelings have arrived, and I knew it was going to be one of them first, and I was correct. Now it's starting. Now we're going to get into it. Okay, guys, here we go. I'm about to find out the deets. Oh. Okay, it's bad. She said that was her last straw, though, so I wonder what else he did. I have now completed book number 1 of this vlog. As you guys saw, I already rated it 4 stars. I really enjoyed this. I had tons of fun with this. It was very entertaining. It was Christmassy, although the Christmas Day portion didn't really give me too much of the Christmas vibes that I was expecting. I do have some notes that I wanted to mention. And first, this is the second book in this like Fitzpatrick Christmas series. So this one is following Christian Fitzpatrick, and he has a brother, Andrew, who he was the main character in the first book. And we get mentions of Andrew and Molly in this book as well. We're following the extension of their relationship, which what I'm assuming happened in the first book. I have not read the first book, but now I really want to read it because I'm curious to see how Molly and Andrew's relationship goes in the first one and how they came to be. So as you know, I said I hated Hannah. She did grow on me. She realized that what she was doing was not good, and she apologized to Megan eventually, and they formed their connection with each other that I really enjoyed. This book had a lot of funny lines too. I found myself giggling a lot. Romance-wise, with Megan and Christian, I feel like Christian did a lot more for Megan than Megan did for Christian, and I don't know if it's because of their feelings and how it all played out. Obviously, Megan wasn't the one that was into this in the beginning, so I don't know if she needed a little bit more time, but by the end of this, I just feel like Christian did a lot more for their relationship than Megan did. And also, this isn't specified towards this book, but just romance books in general. I wish we got more niche subjects in romance books between the characters. I feel like a lot of romance books are just characters attracted to each other. They respect each other and they're nice to each other. They get along, so that's why they develop their relationship and get together. But I want characters who talk about their interest. What music do you like? Do you like watching movies, or do you like going out and hiking? Just those things. Any interest you can have or any hobbies. Megan does knit, so she had her hobby in there, but I needed more. I want more connections between characters with their interest and things that they may have in common, because then I'll really be rooting for them, and it will help me believe that I actually feel like they have a true connection with each other and they should be together. But most of the time it's just attraction and they're both available, and I feel like that's why they get together. Other than that, I really enjoy this book. I'm giving this a 4 stars. I definitely recommend it for the winter time. Put on some cozy Christmas music in the background. You'll have a good time. That was more of our lighthearted read for this reading vlog. Now we're going into Snowed In for Christmas by Sarah Morgan, which is basically the same book title, just for Christmas. I've only read one book by Sarah Morgan before. It was a book club Hotel. That book was pretty emotional, so I'm expecting the same thing from this one, but I do enjoy that, so I think we're going to get into more of we're going to get into my feels in this one maybe. But this is about a few siblings. We have Ross, Alice, and Clemmy. They all have secrets with each other. They're not teaming up, but they're supporting each other and not spilling the secrets to their family members. And then our fun little plot line to this one is that we have this girl named Lucy showing up because she needs to do some business thing with Ross in order to not lose her job. So she shows up there around Christmas time, and a snowstorm comes in, and then they all get stuck in this house. But I guess now, since she's stuck there, Ross and her are just saying that they are in a relationship. So I'm getting pretty much the same thing. I hope I enjoy both of them though. I hope I don't get sick of this one just because I pretty much read the same plotline, but we shall see. I'm gonna start this. This one is a little bit longer. It's almost 400 pages, but I'm hoping I can get through this a little faster. The text is bigger in this one, so maybe it'll even out to around the same page amount. I'm gonna go edit for a little bit right now, and then I'll start this tonight. We'll see how far I get. I will come back, let you know how I'm feeling, my first initial thoughts, and that shall be it for now. I have a few updates. It is the next morning. I'm on page 51, but I think it started out on page 10, so technically we're on page 40. I'm on chapter 3. These chapters are very long. I was looking in the back of the book, and chapter 24 was page 350 something, I want to say. I'm really liking this book so far. It kicks off where we're in the workplace scene with Lucy and her career, and her job is not really doing well. The company is struggling, but immediately I like Lucy and her co-workers. They're very supportive of each other. They have a very healthy workplace, and their relationships are healthy with each other. So they're going to do their best to fix this company and hopefully prevent everybody from losing their jobs. That's what they're all kind of worried about. So it's very stressful for all of her co-workers and herself, but I loved meeting them. And there was another side character. Her name is Maya, and I wanted to share a quote. She is dating someone named Jenny, and apparently they were going to her Christmas. Maya was inviting Lucy to their Christmas because Lucy is alone, and Lucy was like, no, it's fine, I don't want to intrude on your family dinner. And then Maya was explaining how Jenny's mom and her sibling is going to be there, but not Jenny's dad, because he won't accept the fact that them two are together. And Lucy was feeling bad for her, but then Maya said, I've never been happier, that's the truth, and if some family tension is the price I have to pay, then I'll gladly pay it. And I am a firm believer that blood does not equal family. Trust me on that one. If you have any family in your life, if you have support from elsewhere, you do not need those people anymore. I see so many people say that just because somebody is blood related to you, that you should keep them in your life or that you should forgive them for whatever they're doing. But if you do not want to associate yourself with that person anymore, you do not need to. You can continue on with your life. Your life will go on. You will be happier. And sometimes your family is not actually your family. Just wanted to point that out because I really like that quote. I love that Maya has that viewpoint. But yeah, I'm really liking this so far. Obviously, I only got a few chapters in. Well, I only got 2 chapters in. The second chapter, we were getting a different point of view, and it is the Miller's mother. And Ross is the sibling that is coming up because he's going to be the mailman character. I'm just picturing Ross from Friends. I think this is going to make it so hard to get through because all I can picture is Ross Gettler. And his name is Ross Miller, so they kind of sound the same anyway. I don't know. It might be rough because every time it says Ross, I'm just like, oh, Ross from Friends. And also, isn't Lucy the name of the girl in Despicable Me 2? I'm kind of picturing her, which is so insane that I'm picturing an animated girl and a real dude. Yeah, so I can't explain that, but I think this is going to be good. It definitely has already hit on the emotional standpoint just because of some of the characters and what they're dealing with. It's already feeling very Christmassy as well because of what they were talking about in the workplace. They were getting ready for the Christmas season. I was hoping I could read more last night because I honestly wanted to finish this today so I could wrap up this video, but that is not the case. I've only read a couple more chapters, but we just got introduced to the siblings and they all had their little dinner together. So we got to know them a bit more and see their relationship with each other. And it's a great sibling relationship. I really like them. They're very supportive of each other. We also got a point of view from Alice and her relationship, what she's going through right now. And something happened with them and the way that it was handled was really sweet. If something like that were to happen in your typical romance books that you hear a lot of people talk about, it would have caused such a huge fallout with the two characters, and I just know it would have been a big deal in any other book most likely. But this one, the characters handled it like adults. They were very respectful for each other. They were able to talk it out a little bit at least. Now they're going through a rough patch, but I know that they'll talk it out and it'll get better. Right, we have made it to another day. I made it to I'm a little over halfway through. We're on page 196. I think it's 389 pages. I definitely want to try to finish this today. Still loving this though. I really like Lucy's point of view the best. I love her as a character. The siblings are definitely a little chaotic. This book has multiple point of views, so it started off with Lucy's point of view. We've gotten Alice and Clemmie's point of view, and then their mom's point of view so far. We haven't got Ross's yet. I don't know if we will get his. I'm assuming we will because he's the male love interest. The romance has officially started, or, you know, it's budding right now. We got their first interaction. Honestly, it felt like, from reading the back of the book, I knew Lucy was going to show up and the siblings were going to have all these secrets that they were hiding and whatever. So when all that went down, I feel like it happened very fast, but it makes sense because once the first unleashed, then it all just domino effects. I wasn't expecting it to happen the way it did, but I'm actually liking the way that it happened because it feels more real. I don't know if I mentioned this for this book yet. I know I said the first book had a lot of funny lines in it. This one is funny as well, maybe even a little funnier than the first one. Their grandmother, her name is Nana Jean. She is so funny. There was a moment where Ross and Lucy had a little moment together. She was trying to leave the house because she didn't really feel welcome there. She felt like she was intruding a little bit, so she's like, I'm just gonna leave, because at that point everything was going crazy, secrets were coming out. So she goes, but it's a huge snowstorm. Something ends up happening, so Ross goes out there and the whole family is looking through the window, and then Nana Jean was the first one to mention, like, hey, let's go stare out the window at them and watch what's gonna happen. She was like, I read romance books, this is a meet cute. And it was so funny, and she was narrating the whole thing. She's like, okay, now this is happening and then he's gonna do this, like basically explaining what happens in a romance book because that was happening to Ross and Lucy. And I was just laughing that whole moment with Nana Jean. I'm just having a good time. We just got a major news drop from Clemmie, and it's interesting because we only got one chapter from her point of view with her life and what she does when she's not with her family. So she just dropped a bomb on her family. Her secret came out, and it's something where you can imply a certain situation. She was bringing something up before, and that's when you can first imply that it may be something, but it's not something that you should imply. And honestly, the way that she was putting it, the way that she was talking about it, I believed her so much. And then we just got the actual truth. I'm kind of surprised. Nana Jean also said something really funny again. Lucy works in marketing and she works with influencers, and she mentioned that to the Miller family. And Nana Jean was like, what did she say? Did she say... I don't know why this is so funny to me, but she's like, did she say she works with influenza? That doesn't sound safe. Their mom was like, no, influencers. And she's like, oh, I don't know what that means. She's great. She's one of my favorite characters alongside Lucy. They're kind of tied. But we just got more of an emotional scene with Lucy and Ross, and I really like how the dialogue is in this book. It seems very realistic. I can picture them being two actual human beings sitting in a room and talking to each other. The conversation is flowing really well. I feel like sometimes with books, dialogue can get a little iffy in some spaces, and just like, okay, I don't believe anybody would actually say that, or this isn't how a normal conversation would go. But this book is doing a really good job with the dialogue. I'm on page 216 now. I feel like I've spent so much time with this family. I feel like I know them really well at this point, and we still have over 100 pages left to go. So I'm excited to see where it goes and excited to find out more about each sibling. I'm really curious to see how Alice's story turns out. I'm hoping we get her point of view in the next chapter. I think we're gonna get a romance between all three siblings, and we're just getting Clemmie's interaction right now, and oh my god, I love it so much. It's so freaking adorable. Honestly, I don't really care for Alice's just because of how she reacted with a certain moment that happened with hers, and she's pushing off a conversation that she needs to have with her dude. She's the only one that I'm not feeling right now. Yeah, so you know it's a good book when you want the chapters to be long. If you remember me saying at the beginning of me starting this book, I mentioned that they were long, and I was like, oh no. We're finally getting Alice's point of view, and I flipped through the chapter to see how long it was, and I said, this better be a long chapter, and it was, and I said, yes, thank you. I've never wished for long chapters in a book before, but here we are. let's chat. I finished Snowed In for Christmas last night. I ended up giving this one a 5 stars. I truly adored this book. Not even for the Christmas aspect or the holiday aspect, but just for whatever else it was. I believe the last time I was updating, I was saying that I wasn't feeling Alice. Well, she ended up being the character that I related to the most. That just makes sense. And in the end, I really want more time with these characters. I honestly wish that we could get another book for each character and their relationship and what is to come for them after the end of this story. I love their family aspect. I love their relationship together. I truly loved every character in this book, their growth, all around just a perfect read. This definitely was the perfect Christmas vibe too. I was feeling a lot more holiday vibes than the first book that I read. I could really picture how much snow there was. It felt like they were actually snowed in compared to the first one. It didn't really hit as much as this one did. They kept going out and playing in the snow, and it just reminded me of my childhood, so I felt very nostalgic while reading this as well. And just all the talk of them and their family traditions and making gingerbread cookies and decorating them. They talk about the presents under the tree. Now I'm feeling very in the Christmas spirit. I definitely recommend this though. This is a deeper story. There's a whole bunch of life advice in here, whether you're a grandparent, a parent, a sibling, someone in a relationship, just for yourself. There is so much advice in here that you can read and connect to these quotes and these words. That's pretty much it. I mean, you guys got my feelings through the whole time I was reading this. 5 stars. Snowed In by Catherine Walsh. I'm still gonna stick with a 4 star for this one. If you're looking for something more light and fluffy, somewhere on that side of the romance, more of a little rom-com, although both of these books were funny, this one was lighter on the emotional side. I would recommend this one to you if you're looking for that. But if you do want a deeper one that is going to hit your emotions, I would recommend this one. I just love this one so much more. Those were our 2 books, 2 Christmas books. I just love how they were both snowed in for Christmas pretty much. We are almost done with Bookmas. I do have one more reading vlog for you guys tomorrow, which I am so stoked about, so I hope you guys join me in that video. If you want to stick around and see that, make sure you are subscribed to me so you can get notified when that gets posted. I hope you are having a great day or a great night wherever you are, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!